He settled down. All right. So when you think of carnivores, you think of cats and um, a lot of large cats, um, dogs, wolves, and stuff like that. Other carnivores can include seals, weasels, and mongooses. Okay, these are all carnivores. Monotremes, like the platypus, and also the echidnas, are the only mammals that lay eggs, and they're called monotremes. Um, their order name um, is reference to their digestive, excretory, and reproductive systems. Okay, lagomorphs, like rabbits. Okay, um, basically these guys are famous for their ability to reproduce quickly. Okay, you've heard the expression multiply like rabbits. Rabbits do multiply very quickly. Okay. Um, it also includes the group the picas or the picas, depending on how you pronounce it. They are distinctive due to their smaller rounded ears. You also have the shrew-like mammals, like shrews, moles. Um, they hunt insects and other small arthropods that make up the bulk of their diet. You have bats. These are the only flying mammal. Okay. And that includes all bats. You got rodents. And rodents, like the naked mole rat, um, and other like the beaver. And the thing about them is that their teeth contain no enamel, so that's why they look reddish brown, and they're continually growing, so they have to gnaw them down. Rodentia actually translates to gnawing animals. Okay, odd mammals or odd mammals like the armadillo and sloths. Okay, those fall under odd mammals. And if you guys see an armadillo out and about, don't touch it. They can transmit leprosy. Odd-toed ungulates have hooves, but they only have 1 to 3 toes. To be your donkeys, your horses, your zebras, and your tapirs. And then your even-toed ungulates have 2 or 4 functional hooved toes, like gazelles, pigs, hippopotamuses, camels, giraffes, cattle, and deer. Sea cows contain the manatees. Okay, Barbara manatee. And other species of sea cows. Okay, they're very gentle creatures. Okay, marsupials are pouched mammals, so the young are born underdeveloped, and then they develop the rest of the time in a structure called a pouch, and the young is called a joey. These would include kangaroos and koalas, and the only marsupial found in North America is the possum. Simians and their relatives would be your primates, your apes, and your gorillas, and monkeys, tarsiers, and lemurs. Okay, even though they walk upright, they're designed to walk. They're designed to walk on all fours, and that's how they spend most of their time. They usually only walk on two when they're needing to run real fast or when they're in the threatening pose. Trunked mammals like elephants. And there are 3 species of elephants. Okay, these guys are gorgeous creatures because they have those big, beautiful ears, no matter if they're African or Asian, and they have those trunks and the tusks, which are unfortunately are being hunted, and they're being poached for that. And we don't want that because that's bad. Bad, bad, bad. And then you have your aquatic mammals, which would be like your dolphins, blue whale, or your whales, These are your cetaceans. And they're designed to breathe through a blowhole, usually in the top of their head. Okay. All right, they are endothermic. They have hair and blubber for insulation. Blubber is a large layer of fat under the skin to help provide insulation. Many pant to release heat, like dogs. Some release heat through their ears, like elephants do. They'll flap their ears to cool the blood. Heat is produced through the metabolism, through the food that we eat. Okay, mammals have to eat frequently. They have a relatively large brain size for their body. Most have good hearing and smelling, but weaker eyesight than birds. And the eye placement is usually on the front of the head, so like this. And as you can see from her, he has the same eyes on, and he does not want to do this. He is so tired. It's nap time for him. Kittens sleep about 20 hours a day, so I caught him in a nap cycle. But when he's running around, he is very energetic. They do have an endoskeleton with 4 limbs. Most or all cats have 4 limbs, dogs, and even humans, which we'll talk about more later. Even though some people consider us mammals, we're not. We are, but we're not considered animals. Okay. We have a digestive system, stomach. There's a cecum for some of them. Okay. And the cecum is an extension of the large intestine, and it's a pouch-like extension. It's for non-ruminant herbivores like horses. They don't have a rumen to help them digest cellulose. And excuse me. So it helps them digest cellulose. Kidneys produce urine, and we have a bladder for waste or urine to be excreted. 4-chamber heart. Okay, all mammals have a 4-chambered heart, and they all have red blood cells that have hemoglobin, which allows for oxygen to be transported. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the circulatory system. Large flexible lungs. What's unique about mammals is there is a large dome-shaped muscle called the diaphragm that separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity, and it is normally U-shaped when the lungs are relaxed, but when you inhale to take a breath, the diaphragm actually will go from a U-shaped, it'll go like this, and flatten and lower, and that allows the lungs to expand. And then it relaxes, pushes the lungs up to exhale the deoxygenated air. Okay. The larynx is the voice box that is responsible for many of the sounds that mammals make. That is also what we call our voice box, the larynx. All right, reproduction. The structure, the mammary glands, this is where the milk is produced. This is where mammals got their name from mammary glands. Mammals, mammary gland. Okay. Most mammals, except for monotremes, are viviparous, which means they give birth to live young. There's internal fertilization. Eutherian mammals, which would be another way of saying that is placental mammals. They the embryos attach to the walls of the mother's uterus by a placenta, and that just helps bring nutrients and oxygen to the developing young, and it removes wastes that the developing young produces. They usually have a long gestation period for birth. Elephants have a gestation period or pregnancy of about 2 years. It's about 22 months. Humans, 9 months. Usually the larger the animal, the longer the gestation. But what's interesting is that the blue whale, which is the largest animal in the world, its gestation period is only 9 months. So there has to be a lot of development for that calf very quickly. Marsupials have a short gestation, and again, the young are born very underdeveloped, and then they journey into the mother's pouch to continue their development. Monotremes, very short gestation, and they lay eggs. Mammals are found in almost every habitat. They have different niches. Many are generalists, which means they have a lot of different, food sources. This is mainly in herbivores. And some have been domesticated. They can outcompete specialists. So the more food sources you have to choose from, the more you can outcompete specialists. Hunting seasons help control populations of deer and wild boar and stuff like that. The wild boar is actually an invasive species here in Texas, and it's a problem for farmers and ranchers. Species management, wolves in Yellowstone National Park. We talked about that last semester, and also how they can cause a trophic cascade. Where their introduction resulted in a bunch of other things happening that were beneficial. That's something that we have to be careful with, and everything is connected. All right, so that's it for chapter 19. So make sure you answer those review questions that are posted and get them to me before the next class period. Have a great day.